Welcome back to Jump Into Life. My name is Alan Thomas. I want to encourage you to follow me on Instagram, Jump Into Life, on TikTok, Jump Into Life, and on Blue Sky. And today I have a musician who I came across when I was shopping at the Dallas Farmers Market. And what made me stop to listen to him was the sound, not just any sound. It was something soulful about his voice, and so it was a story in that voice, and I believe that it was something wanting to be told, to express, and he was doing so in his music. And so after he got a break, I had a chance to talk to him, and I asked him, "What's the story behind your voice? What's the story behind your music?" And then we started talking. And so before I get into more into that, I want to encourage you to follow me on Instagram, Jump Into Life, on TikTok, Jump Into Life, and on Blue Sky. His name is Jarius White, aka Hyro, and that's spelled Jairox. And please welcome Jarius White.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. And yeah, it's really nice to be here. And I think you did hit on a good point. It's funny. I wrote down a note yesterday, and I was like, I feel like sometimes I hear the unsung melody of people through pattern recognition XYZ, and I think that you kind of like pointed out that in through me of like maybe you heard something in me that was trying to speak, but even I was unaware of, and so.
So, what was it that I heard that's trying to come out or that's come out into your music?
I think that it's really just the concept of love as not as like a transactional or not as like a um, romance needing of romance, but that it just exists. And I I feel like we live in a society where it's like love can only be curated or understood through romance or through if something's given in return. And rather than being the source of love or being the a vessel for love, we have to wait for someone to give us love in order to give it back. And for me, I feel like a part of my story is like I've noticed that I have a lot of love to give, but part of it was learning how to be genuine in giving it and being able to give it in a manner where it's like, okay, now that someone has it, now that XYZ, they've experienced it, they can grow without me being there. So they know it's like, do with that energy as you will. And that has over time kind of just been not a responsibility, but it's been a drive, I guess. It's like I'm aware that I have music ability and I have a lot of love to give. So I remember, I think 8 years ago, I was like, I want genuine love. Like that's that simple.
That's everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
But we arrive to our destinations through different processes. And so for me, I'm aware I have a lot to give. So I feel like I have to give love first before I can receive it. So music is my vessel to give love. And
Is it also a vessel to express it?
yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying is like to
Okay.
express it. And um, and I guess you could say the stillness of it, the just like I get rushing water feeling of it, time stopping and whatnot,
Hmm.
and
Does that come from the music or the lyrics? You said the Russian water and time kind of slows
I
it.
think it just kind of comes from the experience. I notice whenever I'm singing, it feels like time stops, and not like the cliche of like um what we hear in movies, like it's like it really like it's like time will stop
Yeah.
and or move slow or it's like everybody in the room is just kind of regulated. And I just think that yeah, I think that I didn't really like, not something that I asked for,
Yeah.
but I'm aware that I have it
How do you
available.
think you got it? You say you didn't ask for it.
Definitely a gift from God, 100%.
Okay.
Like having love, but also having music, and then I'm having, I guess, my story. Definitely could not be here.
So, how did you know it was a gift from God? And when did you learn that?
Mm, I think that as growing up, He allowed me to fail as a human,
To
and
fail?
fail as in
Oh,
like just be an indecent human. Like I just was not. I had a lot of moments of disrespect. I had moments of like judging other people. I had a lot of moments of like where people didn't even want to rock with me as a human type,
okay.
you know. But
So you were
eventually,
like a bad seed? You know,
I
you
I
come a
w-
long way if you were, because you look
yeah,
like a decent human being.
I wouldn't say bad seed, but I had it in me,
Okay.
you know. And luckily, I grew up in a stricter environment, so I didn't have that luxury to like really just lash out, be irresponsible. But eventually, I what happened was is honestly is romance. Is I fell in love, but I was my character is what kept me from being able to have the love that I first had. First,
Appreciate that love. Okay.
and to step into it and to grow with them, XYZ, and that was like 8 years ago. So after that, I did a lot of soul searching and looking at myself, and that's whenever I realized I was like the not necessarily breakup, but the whole experience aftermath hurt so much because I
Yeah.
had so much love to give.
Who broke up? You broke up with her, or she broke up with you?
It was kind of like mutual.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a mutual understanding. There was
Because it's easier to get over somebody when you're the one who broke up with somebody.
not per se, not per se, but yeah. I remember just in the aftermath, I was just thinking about it, like, what can I be to do better? How can I be grow X Y Z? I just had this weight of like I have a lot of love to give, but I don't know how to give it. Also, because due to the society, if you're even the most bare minimum kind towards someone, they treat it as flirting. So I was like, Diablo, I need a way to like get this out. So I was like, maybe my calling right now is to give love, but through music.
What does love look like to you?
Love is love is basically the to me is the ability to look out for someone else's well-being, um, solely because you can or you desire to see them do well. Like,
Isn't it deeper than that?
we're humans, and let's say that we're a soil, and as we meet other people, receive small parts of them, memories, characteristics, and those are like little seeds that live in us. So that as life happens, whenever whenever they're down or they die inside or whatnot, the seeds that we carry in them have grown fruit because we've kept ourselves healthy. So now the fruit that has grown in us, we can give back to them to help them remember, hey, this is who you are. This is where you came from. This is what you're called to be.
So
Like,
it seems like you're defining your definition of love is more giving as opposed to receiving. But isn't love two ways?
love is definitely two ways, but I guess I skipped over the first part of it, of being able to give to others because you give to yourself first. And so taking care of yourself, things organized, because whenever people come periodically with unorganized lives, you can be like, hey, this is what's out of order, and help them be on their way.
Yeah.
And people like we were saying, love is a two-way street, but even though it's a two-way street, it tends to affect everything and whatnot.
In fact, you wrote a song entitled Little Love.
Yeah.
Why don't you give us a little snippet of that?
Okay. Say that you left me, you won't let me go. Make me stay when the night's getting cold. Remind me I'm in a better place when we're dancing for fun. Let my inner child run wild with you. With you I'm at home. Let your inner child run wild with me. They'll never be alone. 'Cause we all need a little love, little love, little love. And don't take much to reignite a new fire that'll feel our desire still we're 6 feet low. Baby, pain will come and go. We'll feel it in our souls till we can't keep on. With each other we'll remember to keep on living till our tune's gone. Say that you left me, you won't let me go. Make me stay when the night's getting cold. Remind me I'm in a better place when we're dancing for fun. Let my inner child run wild with you. With you I'm at home. Let your inner child run wild with me. They'll never be alone.
What's the inspiration behind that song?
So one of my friends was going through it, and we were cool and everything, but we didn't really talk like that. And so
What do you mean talk like that? Because a listener may say, "What is he talking about? Talk like that?"
we didn't talk like that. Of like we didn't like we conversed, we talked XYZ, but we didn't like talk every day. We weren't like in communication like that.
So it wasn't a girlfriend; it was a friend.
Yeah,
Okay.
friend,
Okay.
yeah. And but she was going through it, and I was just aware of what was going on in her life. We were out one time, and I remember she just broke down crying. I was like, yeah. So
Just out of the blue, just
yeah. So that hit me for sure. And I was like, I wrote that song. I never told her it was about her, but I wrote that song because it's like, I feel like just a little bit of love is enough to redirect the trajectory of someone's life. And
I'm sure
so
she probably knows it's written for her now if she listens to this. Because, like, how many women have you had that just outright crown you out of the blue? So,
what do you mean?
well, you said you was with a friend and then she started crying.
Oh.
So, like, you don't have
Yeah.
So, she's listening to this. She's like, okay, he wrote that for me. That's nice. That's nice. That's sweet of her to do that.
No, I'm sure she doesn't know.
She doesn't know?
No,
So you had
it
more
was
than one woman that outright cried on you, like, out of the blue?
I'm not gonna
Okay.
hold you. I did grow up around like a lot of females,
Okay.
but I grew up around with brothers, but I grew up around a lot of females, so I'm used to them experiencing their
Emotional breakdowns.
yeah.
You must be like a nice guy to talk to, have a great ear to just people
I
coming with
mean,
their problems.
it makes sense, and I listen.
Why does it make sense?
Because I'm a producer and audio engineer, so listening is kind of my job.
That's your thing?
Yeah.
Okay, but at what point did you realize, hey, I'm a good listener and people are coming to me with their problems? Because clearly you must be sympathetic or empathetic to their problems when
Yeah.
they come to you.
I don't know. It's like I guess he kind of no sé. I'm not gonna let you. Because I do notice that people will kind of just start talking about their lives, or just tell me their deepest things. But
What
it's
do you
like,
think, not to cut you off, go ahead and finish it, what you going to say?
oh no, I was just saying like they'll just tell me like deep things about their lives, and they'll just kind of start talking. And
What do you think, like for me, what made me stop to listen to your voice was what I heard was something in it that was deeply emotional,
Yeah.
and we'll get into what you share with me about having a disability when you were younger and how
Hmm.
that impacted your life. And so that made sense when you told me about that. But what do you think people see or hear in you that make them trust you with their deepest, darkest feelings or emotions?
I think that I would say authenticity.
Honestly,
Authenticity.
okay,
Um, because I remember at some point in life, I was just like, I'm being fake, and I just can't.
you what?
I said, I remember at one point in life, I was just like, I'm being fake,
Oh,
and I just
really?
can't continue
Okay,
living like this. And so I eventually started doing quote unquote my shadow work, and and just checking my inner me. And I think that eventually, like, even though it's not as what's it called, it's not as not prioritized, I guess.
what's prioritized?
Energy,
Okay,
like the energy of people, and I feel like people can feel other people's energy, and maybe they feel my energy, and they just start talking to me. So,
your name. What made you pick that stage name, Hyro? Where did it come from?
it's Jarius means Heido in Spanish,
Okay,
but it was funny. It was inspired because I went to school in college, and there was this Colombian that was trying to say my name, English name, and it's Jarius, but she kept saying Jidix. I was like, no, it's Jarius. She said
yeah.
Jidix. I was like, no. And then when I left, I spelt it out, and I saw that I was like, if you spell out Jairox, it spells Jairox, and that spells Hyro with an X.
Yeah.
And I kept the X but silent because my godmother is from Creole. She
From
spoke
Creole?
Louisiana.
Oh, she spoke Creole. Okay.
She
Okay.
spoke Creole for 33 years and then English. So I have some type of French Creole in my blood. And then so I kept that as a nod to her.
Okay.
But I did some research, and I found out that apparently my name means he shines.
Okay.
Yeah. And so Jarius or Heido both means he shines or to shine. So
Interesting. You think people grow into their names? Because you picked Hyro, which is a deviation from
Jarius.
Jarius.
Yeah. I think so. I didn't know. I picked Heido back in like 2021, and then I didn't know about the meeting until like this year.
When you started your music career or
Um,
started getting into it.
More seriously, I'd say around like 2022. So,
Okay.
and but 2025 was the first year that I perform or sang somewhere every week, and then from there, that's whenever I started growing. Yeah.
So you shared with me that you had a disability growing up as a youth. What was it?
It was ADD.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was talking to my friend about that just yesterday. So it would keep me from reading books, watching movies over an hour and a half, holding conversations, things like that. But eventually, this may like this may sound like to a lot of people, but I I I'm heavily a pattern recognizer. I'll use that to kind of train my brain how to overcome circumstances and move on. I say that because I had to take Folkland when we first found out about ADD. It would give me so much anxiety. Just I hated it. So eventually I started taking notes in my head, marking it like, okay, this is how it feels whenever I'm on focal and whenever I'm focused, XYZ. And then eventually, probably like 2 years later, I was able to stop taking Falkland. I was able to hold conversations, watch Lord of the Rings for the first time, and do better in school off of medications. and it was like almost like muscle memory. And so and I've been doing that since like 2013 or so. But I was just telling my friend yesterday, I was like, bro, I don't know what's happening, but I was like, my ADD has been bad the past like 2 weeks. I was like, uh, I'll be walking around and I'll be like, wait, where did I just come from or something
Yeah.
like this.
So even today, you have to kind of go back to your rhythm that you learned.
No, you like that's what I'm saying. Usually it's not hard to stay focused, but within the past like couple weeks, it has been hard to stay focused. So I was like, I don't know what's I don't know what's changing,
Yeah.
but no, I'm not. It's not anything like I'm worried about or whatever.
Were you bullied for having ADHD as a child? And how
Um,
did that affect you if you were?
it more affected me in my academics, in my
Okay.
self confidence with academics, because it's like I wanted to learn, but it was like I couldn't at the rate that everyone else was. But I didn't know how to voice what was going on, and then by the time that we found out, it was like uh, uh, it was all new information to me. I was like 13, so I still wasn't used to expressing myself. So, and yes, I had my fair share of bullying or being bullied growing up, XYZ. But I think it was just because like I was me.
You think you're expressing yourself in music uh, reverts back or something from your childhood and you've been bullied, not having the confidence, uh, or security to speak and express yourself? Do you think now, as a musician, that some of your music or lyrics touch on that time period in your life?
No,
No.
not really.
Okay.
Because that's what I was saying. Those were the years where I was um, just kind of growing as a person, but also like making mistakes. I wasn't sure I was bullied. A lot of my lyrics are about me growing as a person, um, the current time periods, or just the things I've learned about love in general in the past like 8 years. And so
Now you said some of your lyrics are about the current time period. Walk us through your song "Vitality."
vitality.
Yeah.
So I was with my best friend. I went to go pick him up from a bar. I went to the restroom and he I came out and there was a security guard that was like, what did he say? He was like, hey, he's like, we can't have that here. I was like, oh, what are you talking about? And I had a red do-rag on. I had um, a Stars, a Red Bulls 90s
The
starter
Stars, the
jacket.
Dallas Stars hockey team.
The Red Bulls starter
Oh,
jacket.
starter jacket.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I had on some red and white shoes.
Okay.
And he was like, we can't have all that. And I was like, bro, you're a racist. And he was like, nah, it's not like that. It's not like that. And I was like, nah, fool. I was like, you're racist. And he was like, nah, this is just an establishment. This is a place of business.
Could be he just didn't like the color red.
No, it was his tone and intonation for sure. And I was like, nah, man. I was like, I get that this is a place in establishment, but I was like, if it's establishment a place of business, then you guys need to figure out how to create an environment where everybody can come in.
So he thought you were a blood.
Like
Okay.
And so he was like, nah, he's like, I'm an elder, you need to learn respect. I was like, bro, if you're gonna teach me anything, then teach me about our kind, because you're teaching me about respect, but our kind is out here and no respect to each other. And I'm like, tell me about us. So then he starts talking about I was telling him about, I was like, if you want money like that, then y'all need to create an environment of unity. And then he was like, nah, there's no such thing. I was
And
like,
what do you may want money from that?
money from, because he was saying this is a business establishment.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'll tell him, yo, you need to create an environment where people of
Want to
each
come and spend
walk,
money there?
yeah,
Okay.
that, but people of each walk can come and peacefully,
Feel welcome.
exacto, but not feel a need to like try and fight each other or
El
whatever.
Santo, what does that mean?
Oh, exacto.
Okay.
Exacto. My bad. Or, exactly. My bad. I said it again. But I was like, yeah. I was like, you guys need to do that. Create an environment of unity. And the money's going to come even more.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, there's no such thing. And he was like, and somehow we got on that he was a Navy SEAL. And I was like, bro, out of all of us, you should understand unity.
Got to work together.
Yeah,
As a team.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, you gotta trust your teammate in order to with your life, fool. And he was like, nah, nah. And I was like, so you're telling me that if you're out on the in the field and you have the opportunity, like a guaranteed opportunity to save your brother in combat, you're telling me you're gonna be like, nah. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, nah. You're something's awfully wrong with you. But yeah, that experience inspired this song because the song is about being your brother's keeper.
Okay. And you did it with Weekly Wendy, right?
From Ukraine.
Yeah. I think our full name is Wendy Van, Vander, separate words. Wendy Van Der, then VEGT. So she was the rapper on that song. So read a couple of lyrics from that song.
Okay. If you aren't there to be a witness, you can't tell me how to feel. Our worlds are disconnected by the harvest of our sins. Should I pray it'll soon be over and put my faith and trust in Him? When these emotions are taking over, I should love, but I want revenge.
Now you said that's part of a three. It was a three
It's a
song EP, right?
Uh-huh.
And revenge. After the word revenge, you have an initial acronym in parentheses. What are those
Right.
letters?
So it is RVNG. So R is restoration, V is vitality, N is nobleness, and G is glory.
Okay.
Like I was saying, my revenge is the well-being of my neighbor. And so that starts by restoration, by restoring the individual, and by restoring myself, I can now influence people, or I can restore other people around me. Like I was saying, like by loving myself, I can love others now. And then others who see that are inspired. You have restoration, and then you have vitality. Vitality is the strength that I was saying. They see you restoring somebody else, and they're inspired, and they find their own inner vitality, their own strength to go and restore someone else. And then that is viewed by other people. Same chain reaction happens, but it creates a sense of nobleness inside people, and nobleness, which is like a second sense to like look out for your neighbor. And as all that starts happening in the hearts of other people, then eventually there's a different glory that comes from the unity of looking out for each other.
So all of that came from that one incident. That guy must have really pissed you off.
Yeah, I was very mad in that. I was very mad, but yeah, that all of that came from that instance. Yeah.
Now, the video, and I encourage you to go to YouTube and watch the video. It is incredible, incredible. The cinematography, the music, the lyrics, it is incredible. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
So, but it's the setting is Ukraine. You told me it was Ukraine. So how does that scene happen when the music, the lyrics was inspired by that incident that happened at the bar?
Yeah. So mine was inspired by my current setting in the U.S. Hers was inspired by the war in Ukraine.
Okay.
Because when we met, it was around the time that Ukraine and Russia had just gone to war, and Ukraine was being bombed by Russia for the first times in the first couple months. And so she went to Ukraine and got some shots out in the cold and everything. And then it's funny, I was working at Dr. Phil at the time.
Phil the show.
And she
Okay.
and she sent me her shots, and then it was nice because I was able to have like different feedback on color grading and mix and flow. But my boss at the time was just so supportive, Chris Bunker, so supportive at the time that he allowed me to, when I had downtime, he allowed me to work on the project while on the clock. And as long as we had everything in order, then green light.
Okay. So another song came out of that that is the nobleness and good, right?
Nobleness and glory.
Glory, nobleness
Yeah.
and glory. Tell us more about nobleness and glory, and then give us a snippet of that song.
Okay. So the like I was saying in the first, it says restoration. Or my bad. Nobleness and glory is the ending, is the ending of the EP, and that's whenever I was still upset about the experience, but I didn't get a chance to really express all of it inside of the second song,
Okay.
which was Vitality.
Okay.
So
A lot came out in Vitality. That video's intense. You must have really had a lot more to say.
so I wrote a poem to the Navy SEALs vet. Oh, see, to the Navy SEALs vet, and the poem was to the Navy SEAL vet. If you ever hear this, no hard feelings. You could have lost your life or worse, been sacrificed. You may not be your brother's keeper, but that doesn't go for me. You told me you don't pour into the youth because we haven't given you a reason. That's the same as a man who plants a tree and doesn't water it for its unguided lack of growth. The purpose of elders is to experience and offer guidance. But how could we ever begin your heart's wish and produce reason without a path seasoned with the light of untainted wisdom? You stood on business when you said there's no such thing as unity. All I have to say is, if that were true, then what is the body, soul, and mind? Whether good or bad, our world is the outward expression of what we carry inside. Unity. Unity is life. Life begins when you pick up your sword, not for the purpose of destruction, but for the preservation of another soul. To light ablaze the essence of inspiration and realign the pieces of those internally scattered, that they may find themselves through the harmonious unity of our imperfections. To pick up their swords just as you did yours, not to be conquerors of endless homes and nations, but to wake the force impossible in the face of all who lust the realm of despair and disgracefulness, and inspire unity that fills the holes and will restore everything we lost, everything that's ever been taken. And then it says, you may be the past, but that doesn't mean I won't carry your future.
Powerful. That last line, very powerful. Now you used a couple of Spanish words. You're bilingual.
Yeah, basically, it's
Okay.
I can hold a conversation, or if you put me in South America, I'll be okay. But I'm still learning.
And you sing. That's what struck me when I stopped to listen to you. You were singing both in English and Spanish, and I would never be able to tell that you were not that fluent in Spanish, but you did a very good job.
Thank you.
Explain that.
That came around like 2020. My friends at the time were all Latino. They learned English, and like I was telling you, like for me, like whenever I like want to love, I have different ways, and for me, I feel like one things of loving people is learning their language.
Okay.
And so whether like it just be like the person themselves or like their culture. So I was like, I want to learn Spanish. So then from there, it was like piece by piece. But in 2021, it was during I had to do COVID quarantine, and I forgot to cancel my subscription, and so I ended up getting a $100 charge.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? That was in January. I started working on Spanish. Come June, I tried writing my first Spanish song with reggaeton or whatever. And my best friend was like, I'm not gonna hold you, your Spanish is trash, but I'll help you because he's from Puerto Rico. And so from there, by October, I had my first two reggaeton English and Spanish songs.
Oh, you wrote reggaeton songs?
hmm
Why reggaeton as opposed to love? Because we've been speaking about love songs.
So reggaeton, it was in with Spanish music, you'll hear a lot of songs that are sad, but the beat makes you want to move.
Example of one of those songs.
Eh, Hawaii by Maluma at the Hawaii las canciones ni felicitaciones muy lindo y entarran lo que posteas. And the lyrics are actually sad, but the beat makes you want to move.
Okay.
And that's the thing is, I had depression in high school, and then a little bit into college, and eventually started being able to work out of it. And I was just like, man, I don't want my listeners to feel depressed while they're listening to my music. So it's necessary to be able to talk about deep things and sad subjects, but I don't want them mentally to be dark in their heads, XYZ.
So what caused the depression, if you don't mind me asking?
It's funny. I can't say that I know, but it was a mixture of identity crisis, as well as not performing well in school, low self-esteem, but over the time through working out and changing my music choice, my thought process and everything.
Were you listening to a bunch of sad songs?
Okay. But it was kind of like the environment that I was surrounded by. It was like those were the songs to. Those were the songs. It was a lot of other depressed kids.
Okay.
So those were the ideal music to listen to.
Because people express themselves in songs like you have.
See.
Which one of your songs best described the emotion you were feeling during that time?
I would say maybe You'll Never Be Alone.
Okay.
I've never, like I was saying, I've never really written songs about when I was younger, but probably You'll Never Be Alone because it's about the beauty of friendship, but the reality of feeling alone.
Can you play a little bit for us?
Yeah. Doesn't trust it. It's time for us to heal, mend all that was broken, to take all of the pain that came from those entrusted, that lead me to a place with peace and out as our foundation, and love is at our core, but it's never their intention, and knowing it may hurt. Time is ever pressing, the growth that you displayed, I feel it in your energy as the time begins to dim. Let's wipe away your tears that keeps you from believing you'll never be alone, never be alone. In the darkness of dissension, never be alone, you'll never be alone. In the silence of intention, never be alone, you'll never be alone. In any now or any instance, never be alone, you'll never be alone. My bad, I completely blanked on those lyrics. I haven't seen that in a minute.
That was incredible. That was powerful.
Thank you.
It had so much in it.
Yeah.
What all went into it? Like, what emotions and thought processes? Because you described depression
Yeah.
and surrounding around the environment and the music you listen to. What all went into that in addition to what you said before?
Into You'll Never Be Alone.
Yeah,
Um,
because that was deep.
yeah.
I can hear it in your voice.
It really just came from, I guess, appreciation. And it definitely was inspired as well by another friend who was going through it.
That seemed deeply personal.
Yeah, yeah. I was relating to it as well.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. But I started thinking about my best friend and how he's really been like, he's really been just like an unexpected prayer in my life for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And he's helped me like restore parts of me that I didn't realize needed restoring, and push me out of my comfort zone. And so in towards the end of that song, I take a snippet of a poem from Ali, the boxer, Muhammad Ali, and he was saying like a friend is worth more than gold, and I put that in there to emphasize like the power of friendship and whatnot.
You got Ali's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
people should go and get that track. So
100%, 100%.
So you had talked about your songs. You said the more you worked on your character, the more your lyrics came through.
Yeah.
Speak more about that, because you seem to put a lot into self-identity.
I think it comes back to authenticity. Is like an artist making a painting. I feel like their work is a reflection of them, and so even if they're doing something for someone else, the quality of the work becomes a reflection of the artist at work. So I notice as I work on myself and who I am, XYZ, then the more my music has grown in general, and I think that comes from, like I was telling you earlier, I had a hard time expressing myself, but as I work on myself, I learn myself so I can express myself better, and my music benefits from that.
So on a scale of 0 to 100, what percentage do you believe you're there as far as accomplishing your character, who you want to be as a man, and who you want to be as an artist? Are you 50%, 70%, 80%, or 100% there?
As an artist, I would say like maybe like 75%.
Okay.
But
Now, that's very humble of you, because some people may say, "Oh, I'm close to 100."
yeah. Nah.
Why 75? Why not bump it up to 80, 99?
Because my goal right now is to be stable, and so I'm actually building a business right now, and it's actually consistently growing, and I'm almost full-time music, probably like 3 gigs away from being able to be full-time music.
So what you're describing is, what I'm hearing you say is, you're 75, you achieved 75% of your goal musically.
Mm-hmm.
But the other 25% is getting stable gigs.
Yeah, it's 15% of that is being able to have stable gigs and career, and then the rest, the other 10%, is becoming an artist to a level that I can be on the halftime show of the Super Bowl.
And when you speak things into existence, right? So but you get the call from the NFL commissioner, "Hey, we want you to do the halftime show." Are you gonna start like blocking people numbers? Like if I was like, "Oh, I heard on ESPN that Jerry White Hiro got the halftime gig," and I send you a text, it's gonna come back and say you've been blocked. Some people go to Hollywood and be like, "You know what?
It doesn't. That would take way too much energy.
Okay.
If I was at that level, nah.
I'll change my number.
I actually
And I'm
thought
not famous.
nah. I mean, maybe I'll have to for like if there's like creepers or something. I don't know. But I actually had thought about that of not the changing number, but I was going to make a list of people that I would give full like
Access to you.
lifetime tickets
Okay.
to shows XYZ. And this has really just been a recent thought because I remember growing up, like since I was in high school, a common thing that people would say, but it would low key bother me, is they'd be like, "Don't forget me whenever you're big," and it bothers me because like if I meet you, even if I forget your face, I'm your name. I'm gonna remember your face,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna remember like why I met you or like where you met XYZ, and I connect with people hard, and I don't tell people that because a lot of people can like perversify it or like take it out of context, whatever. But I do connect with people. If I connect with you, I connect hard.
And that's why I asked that question because you seem like someone who is very genuine. You spoke of authenticity, and I believe you would be that guy you just described.
Yeah.
I don't think fame will go to your head.
No, and that's really that is really it's been my part of my journey is to be able to step into fame, fortune, whatever, because that's all necessary to get to the Super Bowl. But the goal is to do it without losing myself. And so I'm actually working on a 30-song project for my birthday, and that comes out August 22nd, the first 10 songs. But the song is really about just, or the project is going to be a reflection of me.
Yeah. What's the message that
Oh,
people you want people to get from
um, it, the beauty, like the beauty of self, I guess. That's a decent way to put it.
the
Probably
beauty
not.
of self?
The beauty of self, yeah.
Okay.
So you were talking earlier about or we were talking earlier about like breakups, XYZ, and whatnot. And one thing that I had learned through self love in the breakups is that aftermath after the breakup, the stillness of it, and all the dust has settled, is like learning and remembering the beauty of like enjoying life,
Yeah.
just like you, like life. I saw someone be like, life doesn't come at you, it comes from you. So it's like even if there's not other people around, romantically, job wise, like family, life can still happen even if as long as you exist.
You said something else when we talked earlier. You said you grew into your character, and in doing so, you learned to pour into yourself. That's basically what you just expressed now.
Yeah.
Is that all in your new album?
All yeah, and I'm actually gonna do a song tonight because I have a show at the Nines, and it's called Myself, and
Okay.
it's called Myself because it's like it's the concept of like letting yourself feel yourself, like I'm feeling myself, but I'm so used to pouring into everyone else and not pouring into myself. So this album is a mixture uh, of grieving, loving, supporting, reflecting, and all while like giving myself to feel the freedom to and pour in positive words, positive messages, and XYZ.
Or mind playing a song from that album if you can, or whatever you was gonna play tonight.
This one is called um, this one is called Only You. I did it. I wrote it. I wrote it because I wanted to learn how to, or I wanted to learn how to do vocal runs. This song will be on the album, but this is more like a romantic song, and that was kind of one of the things. Like the album is gonna be a mixture of like romance and lit and poetry, XYZ. But this is more the romance. wasting time playing stupid games to see if you read about me, or you're just thinking ideally. I ain't tripping, babe. Talk your talk, I walk my walk until you want that action. I'm a Texan, so you know I'm packing. Tell me your lies. I've got an appetite for anything from you. You, I see it in your eyes. You got my reflection. Girl, why you stressing? I'm for you, only you, just us two. I'm for you, only you, just us two, yeah. Oh,
That's nice.
Yeah.
And is that that's going to be on your upcoming album?
it is. So
Okay.
it's already available. It's out. But there's a guy, incredible guitarist named Poppy Check, and he came through and did some soloing over the song, and just really ate it up.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Now, do you find it easier to express love in Spanish or in English?
Spanish for sure.
Really, why?
I actually don't know. I have no clue, and it's kind of irritating. So I'm like, bro, I could have started off this game with Spanish, but I can more deeper subjects I can express way easier in Spanish than I can in English. So
You know, I took a Spanish class in college, and the first day the professor started speaking in French, and he started speaking in Spanish. And then he asked the class, which one sounds more beautiful? And it was Spanish. And I can see why you would say Spanish, because it is a passionate language. Like you was talking about reggaeton and how you can listen to, it'd be a sad song, but you jam it to it.
right.
So speak more on why you think Spanish is offers an avenue for you to express love than English.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just it comes out easier. Like I was telling this dude about what's going on in my life the other day, and there was other people around. I didn't want them to know what's going on, so I was talking to him. But it's like everything just kind of flows out when I speak Spanish and or sing in Spanish and whatnot. So
Do you envision yourself more of a Latin songwriter, Latin performer, or more of an English speaking performer? And why?
I actually don't put myself in that box. I kind of just aware of like what I'm capable of, and I think at first I was doing more like, okay, I'm like an English rap pop, but then I started leading to Spanish, and then people were like, oh, you're Latin, and I was like, I appreciate it, but no, because one, the Spanish that I speak is Puerto Rican Spanish. That's big shoes to fill. And at the same time, it's like, although I do all these things, it's like I'm still me, Jarius. I'm still Heido. And so it's like finding that sweet spot of, I wouldn't say like I'm just an artist, but a lot of what I do is more like, not because I identify I'm a Latin artist or this, it's just because like, cabrón, I can do it.
To date, which song do you believe is the best representation of you as an artist?
I guess Only You. That seems to make people stop and listen, and honestly, that song has brought a lot of blessings to my life. Like last night, this guy came up and offered me to reach out to him and was like, hey, I book people for hotels, seniors and whatnot, for hotels and whatnot. And gave me his card, and he's like, reach out. And then another guy, I don't know if it'll go through, but apparently he knows the vice president of this recording label in London. And he heard me singing, and he wanted my contact info. So only you. It's been a challenge because I needed to. It allows me to practice my vocal runs, because the vocal runs things is like less than a year old. Like, I haven't been doing vocal runs like that, but
That's very difficult for people who are not artists, right?
yeah, it is. It
Explain
is.
what a vocal run is.
Vocal
And give
run.
us an example, like just
Yeah.
a hard one. Not put you on the spot. Or an easy one, whichever is more.
Vocal runs is whenever you hear um, like a mixture of notes within a short span of a time. So like with Tennessee whiskey is like, you're as warm as a glass of brandy, and that, or a lot of people love love never knew what I was missing. I found, and that one's a really hard one. But
You did pretty good. I would have never known you had. You thought it was difficult.
that one's a hard one for sure. But yeah, those those are, it's a short span of a time, but a lot of notes are fit in there.
Which artist influenced you the most?
What genre?
You pick it.
So after this album, I'm gonna be focusing on R&B and salsa music. I'll do one. Those are two different languages, so I'll do one for each. So I'll start with the Spanish. Not because he's a big superstar, but I would say Bad Bunny, because I remember I was at a job interview a couple years ago, and I heard his song in the background.
Which song was it?
I think it was Calladita. Ella calladita. And I was listening to this interviewer telling me how he basically made it, but he was kind of like talking trash about his best friend and being like, yeah, look, I did this without you. I told you I was going to do it. And he's like, I got a hot wife. I got a XYZ. I didn't like his character. And I hear Bad Bunny in the background singing, and then I just know whenever God's speaking, because there's a stillness. The song's not even deep. It's just, I was like, there was just a stillness about it. And I was like, nah, this isn't for me. And so I left the interview, and or after the interview I left and didn't reach back out. And since then, it's like, Bad Bunny's like influenced me, but I'm still myself. Because I got an offer for a sync licensing to be on the next FIFA video game for music, because someone mistook Bad Bunny's song as mine. They offered me the opportunity, and the publishing company liked it, so I think I'm going to be on the next FIFA video soccer game. But unintentionally, Bad Bunny has been a big inspiration of my music, Spanish-wise. But then R&B wise, English wise, I'm gonna have to go with probably Gibeon. I really like his music, and Daniel Caesar as well.
Little did I know I was, having a future, rock star, or or whatever you want to, what genre you gonna get. I didn't know you had all this stuff going on. What drew me to you. I guess that's why a lot of people are gravitating towards you, is that voice. You have an incredible voice. There's something, and I just feel like it's something that's still trying to come out that you have not unleashed yet, and I can't wait till it's all out there.
I think you're right as well, and it's definitely something having to work for, because I notice as I work on myself physically, and like I was saying, personally, it gets better, but
I think it has something more than just the mechanics. It's something emotional. I truly believe that. It's
interesting.
something deeper.
Yeah,
And it's, as soon as this is just me, my feeling.
yeah, you could
Because,
be right.
and I may be right.
You could be. You could be.
And right now, you may not be ready to put it out there. Like, you know Adele, right?
Yeah.
She put it all out there. I mean, you can feel it. And which song best represent all of that for you? As far as I know, you talked about some of these songs that you sung earlier, but which one stands out that you like? This is what I have released so far emotionally. It's a song like, where's the part two?
Like it sounds unfinished.
Yeah,
Hmm.
something
I
you put
actually
out
don't
there,
know.
and it's like you expressed your emotion, your feeling, and you left something on the table.
No, no. It. I guess maybe there's an unreleased song that I actually haven't recorded it
Okay,
yet.
maybe this is a sign that
It's
you need to.
yeah. It's gonna be the it's gonna be the last song on my album,
Okay,
and it's called "The Cry in My Soul,"
okay,
and it's basically about not desiring other people's validation, but desiring my own. So the hook is or chorus is, "The cry of my soul is to be seen by nobody else but me and only me," and so um,
I think that's been the theme of this whole interview is self-awareness and you finding your independence.
right, right. And this year has been a lot of learning how to choose myself, but like I was saying, I think it's not. You're right. It's not the mechanics, but the mechanics help provide the freedom for whatever it is to flow
Yes.
out.
So before we close it out, if the archangel, right, tapped on the shoulder and said, I wrote, it's time to go.
Mhm.
What would you want the title of your last song? What my representation of my life, my music. What would you title all of that?
Uh, I think it would be that "Cry in My Soul," because a lot people associate cry with sad, but you can have a cheerful cry, a cheerful shout, and so that's what my life has been and what the album has been. A mixture of great, um, using my voice where it's communicating good frequencies and deeper frequencies and sad frequencies and romantic frequencies. A mixture of frequencies is what creates a cry. It just depends on the setting. And so I think the soul can cry all of those at whenever. And so yeah, I cry in my soul.
You know what? I was right to stop, and you were in the right place for me to listen to you because what you shared today, a lot of people, I'm hoping, will get. And because life is about living, and how you live your life has challenges. People have to learn to accept who they are first before they can love someone else. And this is what you said you express in your music. And I've heard it in the songs that I've listened to that hadn't been played today and those you played today. Very powerful voice. You have a very powerful message. And I hope people see he who shines.
Thank you.
Because it seems like you grew into your name. Right? That's what it
Yeah.
means, right? He who shines.
Yeah, I mean, to you shines, yeah.
Any parting words you want to say to my listeners? Like where they can find you as far as like on social media, where do you often can be found performing, things like that.
So right now I'm with the Dallas Sounds uh, busking organization, so you'll see me throughout Dallas, really in general, but especially at the farmers market. Like me and Alan connected, and then I'm starting to sing at the AT&T district more commonly. But if you would like to follow me, my Instagram is JAIROX00, And then I have original music, Jairox. But
Okay, good.
yeah,
And please follow him, purchase his music, get his next album, and it's coming out when?
August 22nd.
Buy it. I know I'm going to try to beat you to it. And I'm certainly going to listen to that last track.
Yeah. So okay. So I'm gonna put the song out, the tracks out in projects through over probably the next like 6 months until or however long until December.
Okay.
So the first 10 songs is gonna be called "Heidel for the People." The second one is gonna be called like "Heidel, Lover Boy" or like
You
something.
still working on that title?
Yeah,
Okay.
but the content is gonna be more like raw emotions and whatnot, R&B, slower ballads, maybe probably some poetry, and then the ending is gonna be Heido, and it's just gonna be deep, deeper songs, but also or not deeper songs. That's the second area. It's gonna be other people who are artists from Dallas, but I produce them and mix and master them. Because for me, it's like Heido can't exist without other people, and so that ending part is gonna have other artists that I recorded, and then eventually poems, and then end out on "Cry My Soul."
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, like it, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And again, to follow me on TikTok, Blue Sky, and on Instagram. And I hope you do listen to forthcoming episodes. Again, like I've said in previous episodes, when I have episodes that are impactful, that I think will be impactful to you and to other people, I record them. And so that way I don't record something that's trash. I record things that are meaningful and touch on people's personal experiences, because it takes a lot for someone, especially Hyro, to come on the show to talk about his emotional journey and his music and how it kind of ties together. And so when I do find people who are willing to come on to share their personal experiences, I book them, and we have shows like this. So I encourage you to just follow me. That's the only way you're going to know when I post something, because I don't post on a regular basis. And I will thank you again for agreeing to come on the
Absolutely,
show.
man. Thank you for having me out.